Damn, BT. I just wanna fly away. Take me to a place like heaven. I just wanna ease the pain. Feeling like I'm walking in heaven.
It been raining outside, and my homeboys is frauds. I got some smoke, I just might smoke you. I been no man but God. I been slid on, backstabbed, crossed and took losses. I still be beating up this pirate, turning my soft into some hard. My life is raw, I sell work and I keep a pistol in my palm. My pops taught me how to focus, I got this hustle from my mom. With no regrets, I watch my kids live happy and feel no struggle. The weight be on my shoulders, feel like I failed them if I don't hustle. Racks off of this shoebox, tats on me like Tupac. Wops blowing my phone up every day, trying to come do wop. Powder all on the digital, thug living be critical. Eyes all on the prize, trying to make it out, homie, be pivotal.
I just wanna fly away. Take me to a place like heaven. I just wanna ease the pain. Feeling like I'm walking in heaven. No,
Ready? Hey, what it do, man? We back again. It's time for that culture for the streets. We have the lovely Miss Carla as our special guest today from Beulah, Ohio. Miss Carla, tell us what's going on.
Hello, everybody out there. How are you guys today? I'm good. My name is Cara. I am the CEO and founder of Purple Hearts Home Healthcare here in Columbus, Ohio. And I am grateful to be here. Thank you.
So tell us about what you got going on with the business, with your in the business world now. So tell us what you got going on.
Yeah. No, humble beginnings. You know me from a long time, Lamar. But yeah. So what I do is I own a home health agency, and we specialize in providing care for non-medical needs for individuals who are at home. So say you I don't know, had a stroke and you are able to function enough to be at home, but there's just certain things that you can't do on your own, like take your own medicine, go to the grocery store, make sure you're going to your appointments every day or whatever you have going on. That's where we come in. So we make sure that your meds are done every day, that you know what you're taking. If you have to get somewhere to the grocery store, to a doctor's appointment, anything of that nature, we provide those services for individuals at home.
Is it something like personal care?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm actually working on both. So I'm doing personal care, what you just said exactly, which is like home personal care, making sure that people can live comfortably in their home. But I'm also working on another side of it, which is skilled nursing. So I'm also going to be able to have home health aides in the house who can do blood pressure, check sugar, have nurses come in to check the individual. So more of people who are can still who decide they want to be at home, right? They don't want to go to a nursing home. They want to stay at home, but they need extensive care. So I'm also working on that side of things too, to make sure they can have nurses in the house if they need them, that they have home health aides ready for them, for things that just my other side can't do, like as far as changing GI tubes, like I said, checking for diabetic sugar levels, all those kind of things that are more on the medical side.
So tell me, what inspired you, sweetheart?
Well, this goes back 10 plus years. I started working at a nursing home out where I'm from, in Geneva. Well, I'm from Ashtabula, but I was working in Geneva, and I was working with people who had developmental disabilities. And so when I started working there, naturally, I felt like a fish out of water because I've never experienced anything like this before. Like, these were people who just couldn't function on their own and just needed people to help them in their day-to-day life. And once I started to work there and become accustomed to how they lived, I just fell in love with those kind of individuals. So my main objective, the main people who I provide services for are people who have developmental disabilities, because they are just like us, but they just need extra help understanding certain things in life that come natural to us. So we want to build them up and provide care for them so that they can learn how to do things on their own, learn how to count money, learn how to go to the grocery store on their own, learn how to be productive in their communities, and interact with other people. So that is where my heart is. That's where the passion comes from, is people with disabilities. So it's actually like three parts to my business, but the main part is people with developmental disabilities. So yeah, it's been 10 years in the making. It's been something that I've um always dreamed of doing and just felt like I didn't have the capability to do it. And so once I really tapped into who I am as a person and really knew my worth and what I really wanted to do with myself, this became a no-brainer for me.
So how long you been doing it?
So I actually have like kind of hit the ground running. Like once I realized that this is really what I want to do with my life, I really started digging into it. So I got my LLC back in October of last year. And then I've been taking all these different trainings and all these different classes that the Board of Developmental Disabilities require you to do. Um, so since October, I've been working at it, and I announced my grand opening about a month ago.
Did anybody tell you you're amazing?
Thank you so much. That is very, very nice of you to say. And yes, I've been told that, and I really appreciate it. And, honestly, I just feel like I'm doing what God called me to do. Like this isn't something that's for money for me. Like, I mean, yes, we all have to make a living. But I could have picked anything. I could have picked anything to be in.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, you have to, because you're not going to grind for it if you don't love it. You're not going to get up every day and figure out what's the next thing you got to do to make yourself successful, make yourself bigger than what you were the day before, if you don't love what you're doing. So once I knew this is what I loved, I was just afraid to step into it because I didn't think I could do it. And once I learned that this is what I wanted, it's really been one of the most easiest transitions I've ever done as far as career wise. Being able to get my LLC, get my workers' comp insurance, my business insurance, all those things just came with so much peace because this is the avenue that I'm supposed to be going on. So it hasn't been a difficult road for me at all. So now with me announcing my grand opening, I'm starting to market to get clients and everything like that, which I have 2 clients already. So I'm grateful for that. So if anything has been a little bit challenging, that would be the main thing, which I think that's in any avenue of business, is marketing yourself to get yourself out there so people know what you're doing. But I'm very blessed, and this has been one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life.
I feel the energy, baby.
You also kind of play as an influencer once you take that step, and you sometimes when you start things like this, you got to trade can't in for do, and you got to just do it because you don't know what you can't do until you try it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't try to do what they really want to do because they ain't influenced to do it. So a lot of times your friends, they say, ain't gonna tell you go ahead and do it because they want you to be at the bar with them. So it's like you gotta sacrifice certain things to accomplish the things you're trying to accomplish. A lot of times you're gonna do it by yourself. When you do it, you influence a lot of people that you don't even know you influence because they probably want to do the same thing. And when they see somebody else take that leap and do it, they also get the chance to try to change the can't with the do. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. Like, this has definitely been a process that I've kind of been grinding out on my own. And, I talk to God every day. He's my source. So, I've asked him, like, is this something you want me to do alone? Because it seems like every time I try to incorporate other people, it doesn't work out. So I feel like this was a journey for me, just for me. And for me to be able to show people they can do it. Like, I honestly did not think I could do what I've done already. Like, I'm just being straight up. Like, I did not think I would get this far with it. I didn't think that I had what it took to do it. And now that I know that about myself, that I can fight through things, the sky is the limit. And that's for anybody. Like if you really truly want something, you're going to work for it. You're going to sacrifice, like Lamar said. You're going to cut certain things out because that's just not what's conducive to you at the time because you're trying to build something. So there isn't a lot of going out, hanging out for me because when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, what I'm about to do today, what I have to do to get one more person to notice me, what do I need to put on social media today? Like I'm just in a whole nother zone. Like my mind is just in a whole nother place that I never saw myself here until I got here. So I try to encourage anybody who wants to start their own business to really first love it and second have laser focus. Because if you're not completely zoned in on it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. You have to be really tapped in, write down goals, make a vision board. Absolutely. Write your goals down on paper because when you see them, you can visualize them. Make a vision board. Put all the things on your board. I have my whole wall, one side of my bedroom wall is nothing but a huge vision board of all the things I see myself having in the next few years. Because I have, you have to see it to achieve it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to stand.
So, yes, you have to stand on it for sure. So, I've just transformed who I am as a person, which has helped me transform into a businesswoman. So any kind of
it so special. I ain't mean to cut you off, sweetheart.
No, you're fine.
What
you're
makes
fine.
it so special? But now that you're a young lady in the medical field, right? My aunt,
yes.
She's from the hood, the project, the slum, the trenches, whatever you want to call it. And she went straight to the medical field, fresh out of high school. She did whatever, medical school and everything. And she gave it, she worked in the medical field all the way till she turned 80. She just passed like 3 years ago. And
wow.
I say that to say this, that when I used to make excuses about that I'm from the hood, I gotta do what I gotta do. And she would look me in my face and tell me like, I'm from the project too. Your grandma didn't have nothing. Your granddaddy didn't have nothing. I didn't choose to go commit no crime, but look what happened to me in the end. House paid for, bills, you know what I mean? So it was like she shut me down every time I was trying to say where I'm from. Like it wasn't no excuse.
Absolutely not.
Now I'm older, I understand.
Yeah, there's no excuses. There's no limit. I feel like a lot of times growing up in a poverty-stricken area, like Lamar and I are from an area where there's not a lot of opportunities for us. There's not a lot of opportunities for our kids.
No support either.
No support. People don't support your dreams. Don't support your, what you're trying to do.
You gotta chase the support down. You know how this shit go, cause we gotta do it. That's how we gotta do it.
Right. So I feel like we are conditioned a lot of times to believe we can only go so far. Like, if you move to Columbus, like I live in Columbus, and Columbus is a great place to live. There's a lot of success here. There's a lot of successful Black people here. But a lot of people think once they got here, they made it. Like, I'm making $15 an hour now. I didn't make this back home. This is where it stops. And we're conditioned to believe that.
In that environment, that's average living still.
Yeah, and we're conditioned to believe that that's all we can do. But once you break that barrier, once you get out of that mindset that there's a cap on what you can do, you're not going to let anybody tell you that you can't do something, because we all were given the same opportunities the moment we first took our first breath. And that's to be whatever we choose to be. And that's real. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from, it's what you do with it. We all come from humble beginnings. Like, everybody doesn't come with, nobody that I know was born rich.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So if you want to obtain, and it's not even just about being rich, it's about doing what you love, doing something with a passion, doing something that serves a purpose.
Not only that, but as a Black people, we less successful as white people because we'd rather go work for somebody else than work for ourselves. So you got people that work 15 years for somebody else, still in the same predicament. They don't own a house. They still paying on the car. They paying rent, and you can work for yourself. And probably in 5 years, you can obtain all these things if you know what you're doing.
Absolutely. We're told to get a education and go to college and get a degree and then go work for a successful Fortune 500 company, but nobody's telling us we can own our own Fortune 500 company.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't have to inquire a $80,000 debt to obtain the knowledge to be able to go out there and do the same thing. Like most people that come out of college, they come out of college in credit debt and in loan debt, and then you still got to try to start your life off. That's hard to do when you got to start off in debt.
Yep. And then a lot of these, because if you live in an area like I do, like, we have Ohio State right here. This is where the college is. So, and there's other colleges here. So the as far as getting a degree, it's very saturated because everybody got a degree. You know what I mean? Like everybody has a degree. So it's like, well, what are you going to do different to separate yourself? Because a degree is not just going to cut it here anymore. You got to really be trying to do something. And so when I first got here, I had that mentality like, oh man, I'm here now making such and such amount of money. I'm living in this place. I got this going on. Like I'm doing something. Then once I sat down and realized how unfulfilled I was, I'm like, wait a minute, like this ain't the end. This is the beginning. Like I can do so much more with where I'm at instead of just being complacent and thinking that because I made it out of Ashtabula, that's it. No, there's so much more than that. There's way more than that. If you just really tap into who you are, really sit down and work on yourself and find out what it is that God puts you here to do, then man, it's on the floor.
Yeah.
Once people realize that the world is bigger than their city, then they will get the picture.
Yeah.
You can't think small.
Though, because where we from, like where she's talking about, she stayed in Columbus. It's equivalent to Atlanta, it's just a little smaller because it's a college city. Atlanta got a whole bunch of colleges. Columbus got about 6-7 colleges. You don't just got to go to Ohio State. You see what I'm saying? And then there's a whole bunch of colleges outside the city of Columbus. So it's a lot of opportunity. That's what you mean by like having degrees and all that shit is a little bit oversaturated because everybody really literally walk around the city, got that credential. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have to build up the motivation to not be content because everybody content where we from. If you stay in housing, 85% of the people that's in housing, they content. They don't want to go.
Right. They don't plan on moving.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Just like how it is in Augusta.
Everybody's just content. So you don't have dream chasers here. You just have a whole bunch of people that perpetrate with themselves, and then you end up having to still go work and slave and still live when that ain't really what you want.
Right.
Like I feel like on an average, if you get 10 people from where we from, you might get 2 of them that have a real fire inside of them that want to be more.
You're lucky if you get 2.
You real lucky if you get to 2. And it's not me down in anyone from where I'm from. I will rep Ashtabula every day, all day. And I love where I'm from, and I'm actually grateful that I grew up in Ashtabula because my family is from Cleveland. So we moved to Ashtabula when I was like 5. And I feel like I wouldn't be the kind of woman I am that has the kind of morals and values that I have if I didn't grow up in a small place like Ashtabula. Right. Growing up somewhere small taught me how to be a woman, taught me how to be a lady. But what it lacks is opportunity. It lacks motivation. People don't push you to be. They push you to go to school because they feel like that's the only thing you can do. Nobody was sitting telling me I go own a business, go, do something other than go to college. Nobody says that.
Try to do it. They so content. They don't even have the knowledge to the shit anyway, so they can't even encourage you to do it because they don't even know how. So it's just like
right.
Because
like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, they feel like you're successful if you do better than your parents, not realizing that there's so much more to life than just being better than what your parents were.
Man.
You can be better than half of the people on this earth if you really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really sat and thought about what drives you, what moves you, you know, and not feel like being on Section 8 or being in housing, like Lamar said, is it. You know,
Being
like
content.
like I lived in housing my first 2 years of being a mother. And I'll be honest with y'all, I cried almost every day that I was there because that was just not what I wanted. My child's father, they thought I didn't even exist. They thought that he was raising her on his own because I never came outside. And it was because I wasn't happy in that space. Like that's not me. I don't want to sit at housing and live off of the government. I want to live off of myself. I don't want to work for somebody else, and I don't want to live for somebody else. So, like as I look back on that, hindsight being 2020, I'm realizing that even back then I was developing myself to be what I am now because I had the spark. I just didn't know how to embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know how to embrace
it. Where people don't know anything to teach you anything, so you literally got to go out there and blindly research everything you're trying to do because there's somebody you can go to and be like, well, I'm trying to do this. Can you point me in the right? Don't nobody know shit because they content. They doing. It's not like they dumb. It's just that they so content they don't want to learn nothing else. So you have to go out on your own. And
that's why my clothing line is gonna fit you, sweetheart. That's what it's called.
What's it called?
Fearless Apparel.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. You just plugged that on social media, didn't you, Lamar?
Yeah. But I told him I liked that you needed to make that because
he told me.
If you watch a lot of our episodes, he always would tell certain artists that, or if it was an actor, he'd be like, that's part of it. You got to be fear. Like he was saying like a coach, and I'm like, cuz, you say it so much.
That's that battery you got to put in your back in order to be somebody, because your significant other, she might not be listening to what you saying. Your mom might not be listening. Your dog might not be listening to you. So you just gotta say fuck it and just say, you know what? I don't care who with me, who rocking with me. This what it is.
And that's exactly what I did. Like, I just woke up one day and I was like, I have to change the way I think, because the job that I had, I was doing great at that job. I made great money. The job that I have now, great money, whatever. I could be complacent and just be like, I'm gonna just rock this job out, build, move up the ladder. But that's not who I am, and I've learned that now. I'm not a work for somebody type of chick. I am who you work for.
Okay.
So
I like that.
I found myself when I secluded myself from everything else. Like I just shut everything else out. I started meditating. I started meditating. I started praying more, reading my Bible, getting closer to God, and now I know for a fact that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, it's unfortunate that a lot of people won't reach that magnitude of thinking because they don't apply it to themselves.
I mean, a lot of people do it because they don't step outside their comfort zone, sweetheart. You feel me? Like Cuz said, like some people, they don't want to move around because they know they got mom, they got grandma, they got such blah. But if you leave from your city, not saying everybody got to do that, because some people still know how to maintain in their own city. But sometimes it takes for some people to leave their city and go grind and hustle in another city, because if you leave to another, you go to another city, you ain't got no homeboys, mom, them not there. So you got to be on your shit, dog. Exactly. Go hard or go home.
And like you just said, some people can't survive in their own city. Like look at Lamar. He I learn something new about him every day. Like I seen his clothing line when he came out with it. I'm like, dang, how he do that? I saw the shoe line. I'm like, man, how is he, like, what is he doing to do this? Like, how does he like, and not on some like he ain't smart enough to know, but it was just like most people don't sit in Ashtabula and think past Ashtabula. So when I seen him doing it, I was like, wow, like look at him, like what is he doing that's that's making him do that. So there are people who are in Asheville that are very successful. And there's
great minds just think alike, you know?
Yes, and you have to surround yourself with people that are like you, like-minded people. You can't still be hanging out with Joe Smo and them who don't want nothing in life and think you gonna get somewhere. You have to cut, like, even if you gotta cut them out. Yeah, it is what it is.
This is my twin. This is my twin from the other side of the globe, man.
Right.
Now the day if it don't be 24 hours while I don't call cuz just like cuz what's going on. And once we start talking, we connect like magnets.
Yeah.
Just take off. Every time.
It really happened on some humbug shit. Like I had a whole bunch of podcast equipment. I just bought it because I always told myself I tried to make it was called internet radio back in the day. In like 2010. And me and my cousin was trying to figure out how to get an internet radio show, but we didn't know how to go about it. So, you know, all them years later, we end up with our own show. So it's like, you just don't never give up on the thing. I was trying to make my own shoes too back in 2010, but it was a lot of processes. And then, you know, over time, technology changed and everything changed, and you keep researching, you stumble on things, and, you know, that's how shit happens.
Yep.
Like, we were just playing with the equipment, and one day my cousin was like, man, y'all niggas know a lot of shit. Y'all niggas need to make this shit a show. And like, damn, cuz you know what, we should try this shit. And we did it. Shit, it did better than what we even expected. In fact,
no pad, no pencil, off the dome.
And you know, I just want to say to both of you, I don't know you, sir, but I know Lamar, and I want to say that this is amazing to see two gentlemen from the hood doing something productive, doing something for the culture, doing something for people that can doing it on a level that everybody can vibe to. It's very refreshing to see this. I'm very humbled by you guys, because these are the kind of things that I want to see guys do. You know, men that I know do.
We honored to have you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you why we so honored to have you, sweetheart, and why you so amazing to me. Because not throwing shade on nobody parade, nothing like that when it comes to the females, but like back in the 90s and the 80s, you had strong women like Queen Latifah, MC Light, the ones that gave women the game of the power that they hold and how they should be addressed. You see what I'm saying? The music these days is damn near like stripper music. It's like stripper music.
It's changing the standard of a woman.
You know? Right, it's changing the standard of a woman, and it has took over. So since it has took over in hip hop, okay, we can't worry about a strong woman coming in and teaching the youth like how they supposed to. We have to put it on the podcast. The podcast is just as important now as hip hop. Yes. And by them, some young lady somewhere is going to see you, sweetheart, or listen to the audio and be like, you know what? She just put that battery in my back to go and do what I gotta do, no matter the, you know.
And that's why we're particular about what kind of females we bring on the show, because we really we need more queens. Trying to show people that it's still strong black women out there. Yes, women. Period.
We need queens.
You see the stripper.
We need y'all.
You see the You see that type of person as a female be the dominant in the eye. You don't see a hardworking woman over here running a business and this and that and this and that. She really bossed up. They don't shed light on her. They shed light on this girl that used to be a stripper, but now she.
And that ain't right.
Nah, it ain't.
You know,
that's an argument in my eyes.
That is that is very appreciated, because you don't hear this. We don't hear this, you know. It's already hard enough being a black woman, but not having our men support us the way that you guys are showing the support now. And like you guys are saying, like, it doesn't always come to the woman who doesn't shake her butt for money or whatever. Like, you know, I'm before I'm a businesswoman, I'm a mother of 4 children and 3 of them are girls. So my girls are going to know how to be women, because that's what I am. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a lady first, you know? So it's refreshing to hear that, because we don't get the recognition we deserve a lot of times, because we're not trying to be in the forefront, using our bodies to get attention. You know, it's harder to get attention when you use your brain as a woman than it is when you use your body.
Not really.
I know.
I mean, when they show women on TV a certain way, it desensitizes us too, because now our standard drop because we think that's what we're supposed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to glorify.
And you ain't seeing the working woman on TV every day. You ain't thinking about her. You thinking about this girl right here with her titties out like that.
Exactly.
It's like
exactly.
So it does it to both sides, man and woman. So as it's happening to woman, it happens to man, because now we start settling for what we know not to be. This ain't what our mom was, so why would I want that?
Exactly. Exactly.
You already know when it comes, you know, to stand in certain areas where a lot of poverty and housing and stuff like that. It's only a selected few that, you know, that's gonna take off, and you got majority that's gonna stay. So to the ones that's making a difference, you know, it's like, how can I say how it is with men? Like, we start messing with the no good woman at first. Like, we let them drag us through the mud and all this old crazy stuff. And then once you pay attention to the woman that has the vision, and you be like, man, how she thinks like this? Like,
but you know what? Like Lamar said, it goes both ways, because us as women, we do the same thing. We want, you know, when growing up, you see what everybody else is doing. Oh, they want the dope boy. They want the one making the money. They don't want the person who going to school and trying to make something out of themselves. And so then you fall victim to having kids at a young age and not getting along with one another because you wasn't really supposed to be connected in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is, again, growing up in Ashtabula really helped me be a better woman, know how to be a lady. You know, we have everywhere you go.
This is in a harsh environment where it ain't too many ladies outside,
but I have to give credit where credit is due, because you know I came from a mom who wasn't going. Like, she wasn't about to play with me or my sisters. And then also, you know, like, I had my godmother, she's in the church, you know, Lamar Claire is my godmom. So she wasn't going for it. And I grew up in the church. You know, we went to church to Hiawatha every week, you know, and those kind of things is what I appreciate so much about Ashtabula, because those are the places where I learned value of how to be a woman, how to be a lady. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Of course, I was out there in my younger years, wilding out, having fun, doing whatever, but I still carried myself like a woman. You never see me out here acting a fool or any of those things, because that's just not who I am as a person. And people need to learn that now, as sad as that sounds. We have 40-year-old women out here still fighting, still arguing over men, still doing all these unnatural things to me. But, you know, like, again, it all goes back to your mindset of what kind of person you want to be and what kind of things you're trying to do in your life. And if you cannot mold your mind to get in that space to want to do better for yourself, you're going to continue to repeat the same cycle. You have to want to step out of the status quo and be different than everybody else. And if that means that people gonna look at you crazy and be like, oh, she ain't cool no more, she ain't down no more, so be it.
Welcome.
Because those people aren't gonna pay your bills. Those people aren't gonna live your life for you. You know, none of
why
we'll be there 10 years now.
That's why, like, it's so crazy now that you say that, sweetheart. Like, when I get these shirts pressed up, I'm pulling all up at the schoolhouses with these shirts.
Yes. Do it.
I'm pulling up. I'm trying to put batteries in the youth back, especially our young brothers and sisters that's out there in the streets that's being entrepreneurs the wrong way. I'm gonna put it in their head, like, I know you don't want to work for nobody. Okay, cool, but you still can work for yourself the right way. You can get your own business and work your moves.
Yes. And
You
that's what
know,
people need to see is people like you and Lamar who come from humble beginnings, doing something positive and reaching back to them and saying, hey, you don't have to go about it the way I did. Let me show you the right way. And I actually just made a status on Facebook that I said, you know, paid some homage to my coach because I have a mindset coach. And I was saying that when no matter how successful I get, I'm going to always reach back because somebody reached back for me. And that is the best way that we as a people, as Black people, can bridge the gap between what we see as the norm and what should be. We can come
right.
so far from all of that, you know, the mindset of if you got a drug dealing baby dad, you made it. If
I
you got this kind of car, you made it. There's
I
so much
I
more to
tell
life than that stuff.
I tell a lot of young cats in my hood, right? Like they love to dress. You know the term, putting that shit on. All of
Yeah.
them love to do that. And I tell them, I said, you know what? I go on and put that seed in that pot and tell them, you know what? You can be a fashion designer. You can make your
Yeah.
own clothes.
Yeah.
Why you still want to spend all your bread on making a merch when you can come out with your own brand, make your own trademark, and make your clothes the way you want
tell
to.
people
You
that
already
look at
you already got people want to be like you. They want to wear your shoes. They want to wear your shirts. Let them buy your clothes.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
it's it, man. They go and when they look at you like these young cats. They want to be drip guards when they stamp themselves that way. You might well change the energy and go on and put on your own clothes and go on and distribute it to everybody who loving you.
Yep, you're right.
Cause I see all of the like rappers like Moneybag Yo, Lil Baby and them. They see certain young brothers with their clothing lines in Atlanta and in certain places. They support these young brothers. Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like it starts with your mindset. It starts with somebody planting the seed to make the seed grow. You know what I'm saying? You have to sow your seeds. And sometimes you might not know what you want to do until somebody just speak to you. God uses people all the time to speak into other people. And you might hold, you going to that school and putting those shirts out there, you might be holding the key to somebody else's success that they didn't realize, and God is using you to tell them. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to always reach back and try to bring other people up. Sometimes they're not gonna want to do it, and that's no fault of our own. But I try to encourage people as much as I can to step out of that corporate mindset, step out of that. I'm just gonna work my way up the ladder mindset. Get out of that, because you can be your own boss. You don't have to work for nobody. There's more money than enough to go around for everybody to be successful. You don't have to work for somebody else to get yours.
I need all that. I'm soaking that in. I'm already thinking that way, sweetheart, but I love it more when I hear it from someone else.
I'm telling you, like, it's nothing like learning yourself. You have to do that. You have to learn yourself to know what it is you're trying to do. And once you really truly learn yourself, there's no limit. Like, it's limitless. You can do whatever you want to do. Nobody can tell you what you can do on this earth because you were put here to succeed. Like, people don't think about how he didn't put us here to suffer.
No.
We were all made to be kings and queens. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really believe that and change your mindset.
One thing I learned about the grind, baby, it don't matter if it was with the streets or you was doing it the right way. Everybody had to shed a tear, bump their head a couple times.
Yep.
But that's what made them. That's what built character.
Yep. You're right. Sometimes you have to go a certain way.
You got to
appreciate what you get in the end.
Don't run from the pain.
Yep, everybody's walk is the same. Like I said, this process has been one of the most rewarding things that I've done. It hasn't been perfect. There have been many days where I've cried, like, Lord, I don't know if I can do this.
It's gonna be many more days like that, but you
You
never
right.
stop. You gotta keep
Yep.
going. You just keep going.
You absolutely. But what I've learned, instead of letting that moment be the moment where I'll be like, I ain't doing this no more, I quit. Like, this is too much. What I've learned is to wipe them tears, get up and get on this phone and start over whatever I'm doing. And that's what I didn't have before. So, I'm telling you, a mind shift changes many. Changing your mindset and getting away from certain people. Like, earlier in the conversation, Lamar had brought up how, you trying to do stuff and people don't support and all that. Like, I can't tell you how many times I brought up that I was going to do this and people like, oh yeah, that's nice.
That's close cool. Friends though.
Yeah, but you see my shoulders, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now that I'm where I'm at, then I'm getting all kind of inboxes like, how you do this? How you get your LLC? And you know what? I could be petty and be like, oh, I don't want to share that information, but I give them the game. I give them the game because somebody gave it to me.
And just because you give somebody the game don't mean they're going to go off and do it as good as you do.
No, but it's my responsibility. But it's my responsibility to give them the game. It's their responsibility to pick it up. It's their responsibility to pick it up and do what they're supposed to do with it. But it's my responsibility to give it. And I have no problem with doing that because I want to see everybody successful. I don't want to be at the top by myself. I want to be able to, take vacations and go out of the country with people and celebrate everybody's wins. Like I triumph for people. I go hard for other people. I share people's posts and what people are doing. I don't even live back home or whatever, and I'll buy things that I can't even use just to show my support. Mm-hmm. Just little things that I can do, like, oh, here's a Cash App for one of your plates. I can't eat it, but I'm showing you support for what you're doing.
It's like this, baby. You can take them to the lake, but you can't force them to drink.
You're absolutely right, but it's our responsibility to take them to the lake. When you get to a certain place, and I'm not all the way there yet. I'm still, I'm still in the beginning. I'm still on my way. So there's still going to be people who are going to have to lead me to the lake, but I'm a drink though.
Yeah, right. But long as you get somebody to the lake, whether they drink or not, you did your job.
Exactly.
You can't really beat yourself up about it. You can help.
And that's why I do what I do, because number one, I want to see people succeed. I'm not a greedy person. I don't feel like I should be the only person succeeding. I know other people have a lot of talent and a lot of drive. They just haven't tapped into it yet. So when they do say something, I'll be kind of like, yes, finally, she ready. Okay, girl, here you go. This is what you got to do. And I love that because I love seeing people succeed. There's nothing more. That's why I'm in the business that I'm in. I'm a people person. I care about people. I love seeing people happy and whatever. So, I don't mind doing that, but of course I can't hold anyone's hand through anything. Like, I'm going to do my due diligence and give you any kind of knowledge that I have for free. Any kind of knowledge, because, everything that I've done, people have tried to make me pay for it. Tried to make me pay to learn how to do my LLC, to do this. I learned all of it on my own.
I know how that's.
I learned all of it on my own.
I tell anybody that my best investment was getting my iMac, because I learned everything else. Instead of asking people, I just researched it. So what, I gotta read for a long time. I understand this shit though. You know what I'm saying? So
when I realized that's what people was trying to do, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this myself. Like, I'm not about to pay you $200, $300, $400 to show me how to file a piece of paper. So
that's
I learned it on my own. Right. I learned it on my own. And so when somebody come and ask me, I give it to them for free because I learned it. I'm not trying to hustle nobody for nothing. I want to see people literally succeed, because we don't see it a lot where we're from. We just don't.
No, we don't ever.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
There's very few people.
No superstars that made it from here. There ain't none of that. So anything
it's
somebody
very
do
few
to break the cycle is an achievement, and they should get their pats on the back for it, because that ain't something that happen all the time from where we at.
No, I see you doing stuff. You know, I see Juan out there, you know, doing his thing. Like there's some people who are really trying to do better and are doing great things. And other people can too. They just gotta want it. They just gotta want it.
That's it. That's it. It's
It's
just I don't
all
know.
about the grind. It's all about the
Yeah.
grind.
If you don't have the grind, then
It's not there. It's just meant
no.
for you to be a worker.
This is what
Yep.
I tell my team. If you stress yourself out about getting up and being on time to work for somebody else because you think they gonna fire you, you gotta treat this shit the same way. Cause nigga, I'm gonna fire you too, nigga.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
give a fuck
yes.
if you my cousin or none of that. Nigga, if
Yes.
you're not doing business correctly and we correctly do business, our paperwork is correct, our business is correct, our all of that. So it's like ain't no play over here.
Yes. Yes. You better tell it. You better
I
tell
don't
it
go
because
out.
it's
I ain't been shopping in a mall unless it's for my kids in the whole year. I have not bought no other brand of tennis shoes. I'm wearing old shoes unless I
and
got my
that
own
is
shoes. Why would I go buy somebody else? I got my own shoes.
but that's huge from you, man, because you know you a little fashion, you know, you keep
Yeah.
it.
But I
So
had to
that
get
mean you
smart at
really,
that because I spent a lot of
yeah,
money trying to look fly. And then I started figuring out like these niggas do this shit and I can do the same thing. I'm in a position now to get my shit put in any store I want to get it put in too.
That
If
is
I want to
so
choose to do
good,
it, it's
man.
just people
That
gotta
is
stay
so
on the
great.
gas, man.
I'm
That is so
on
great.
I'm on their ass. I'm
You
on
gotta
their
make
ass.
sure what you do and what you represent is relevant to the culture. Like what you do is relevant to the culture. People
Yeah.
need medical assistance. They need healthcare. They need a lot of things that sometimes the hospital turn you down from. So
Yeah,
what you
especially
do is
right now.
very important.
Especially right now with COVID, you know, people like in my industry right now, people are afraid to go into the homes. You know, like the direct care professionals and the home health aides and stuff. Like they're having a hard time hiring people because people are scared of COVID. Um, so you know, like even though I knew that, I still pushed for this because this is what I want to do. Like I know, you know, COVID is a scary thing. I don't wish it upon anyone, but I know that people need us. They still need us, and hospitals are oversaturated right now because of COVID. So people are at home, and they need care. And you know, I want to be there to do that, and I want to be able to have my clients live a great life and do things. Like there's so many different home health agencies out here that I've never seen them take their clients on a trip or get them together for an outing or have movie night or paint night in their offices and stuff like that. Like I've asked a couple people that I've met with who want to, you know, work with me, who want to have their loved ones be a part of my agency. And I've asked them like, well, the agencies that you're with now, do they do these things? And they're like, no. And that baffled me because I'm like, how? Like you're supposed to be giving these people a quality of life, not just making a paycheck. So you literally just sending people in here to do a job and then that's it. You're not taking them nowhere, showing them things, being creative, showing them how to use money.
That's
You
because
know,
they
those
hiring the
things.
wrong personnel. They just hiring people that just want to do the job to get the money. They don't
Right.
want to. They're not really hiring people that
And the
want to
thing
care
is,
for the people.
it starts with you though as a boss, because if you're hiring people and you're sending them into the house and this is what your description of their job is, like, okay, go in there and do this, that's all they're gonna do. But you as the boss have to be like, okay, every Thursday we're going to have paint night at the office. We're going to do movie night. We're going to do ice cream socials. We're going to take them to Ogo Bay or what, Zumbizi, whatever. Because that is part of being active in the community. And a lot of these people have that written in their plan that these are the things they're supposed to be doing, and these companies are not doing it. So, you know, that is where I come in too, like as far as like separating myself from the norm, because out here they're not doing that kind of stuff. And you need to do that because these are human beings. they're not just a money sign. These are people who need us because they don't understand. So, you know, like it's just you know, you just have to know what you're trying to do and just be willing to go above and beyond the call of duty sometimes. And that's what my company represents. Like we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna accommodate these people the way I would want my mother or my grandmother to be accommodated. I'm going to make sure that anyone that I send in the home will be treating them with nothing but the utmost respect and are there because they want to be there and not because I'm paying them to be. So it goes far beyond just making a living, or far beyond just you know doing something because it sounds good. Especially if you're in the medical field, you got to love it. You have
Yeah,
to,
you do.
because you're not going to care about people if you don't. And for me, if you're going to come to me and want to work for me, if I don't get that vibe from you, you can't work for me.
Right.
Because
And
I'm
that's
not
how
going
it
to
should go, though. That's how it's supposed to go,
yeah.
though.
If I feel like you're not
people.
yeah, if I feel like you're not there for the right reasons, I'm not going to just hire you because I need somebody to fill a shift. I'll fill the shift myself before I'll send somebody into a home that I feel like is not going to treat my client with the proper care. It's very,
what you do.
right. And I can't expect people to love it the way that I do, but what I can expect from you is to give people the respect that I expect you to give them. You know what I mean? To treat people like a human being and to go in there and actually do your job. So if I don't feel like you're a good fit for my company based on the kind of experience that I have with you, I'm not going to hire somebody just to fill a space, because that's not what I'm about. I'm about showing my clients that I care about them and that the people that I send to help them care.
That's what's going to put you at the top, though, because the way you think about what you're going into and your perspective on how you want to do it and go about it is a lot different than a lot of people that's in the healthcare business. They just in it for the money, so they don't care about how the people taking care of the people, and that's important because you're taking care of people's family members.
Yes, I couldn't imagine, I couldn't fathom sending someone into a home or myself being in someone's home and not wanting to be there. And just being like, oh, I don't care how they make do today. I'm just going to clock in and get my money and sit on my phone all day. No, that's not what I'm about. My heart is in this.
And there's a lot of people that do that. I know people that do shit like that, like healthcare, and they'll take their PlayStation over their client's house.
Yes.
And be playing PlayStation online when they supposed to be taking care of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that's doing shit like that. And I wouldn't want them taking care of my people.
No. And that's where I feel like I separate myself. Like, I'd rather be crawling at the bottom right now, building my way up and getting the clients the way that I'm getting them, than just try to take a bulk of people and just fill spaces and just put people anywhere and put staff wherever just to have the money. No, my heart is in it. This is my passion. This is my drive. So I'm not going to make this about money. And that is one of the things that I tell any guardian that sits down with me. It's not just about money for me. Yes, I have to make a living, but I care about what I'm doing. This is not just a financial come up. Because if that was the case, I could have done anything. I could have been, getting into hair again or makeup and things that, make faster money and don't have to take so much buildup. This is literally starting from the bottom. And I'm okay with that, because in the end, I know that I'm going to make a difference and people are going to respect how I come at them, and my clients are going to be happy and taken care of and healthy. And that's all I care about.
And that's the most important part of what
that's why you're going to have a long journey, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really honestly appreciate this podcast. This is great. I'm like over here smiling.
You got stuff going on and stuff like that, man. You more like we tell everybody that come on the show, man, they more than welcome to come back, man. And,
I definitely want to come back.
That they got going on, they can put it out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is for. You know what I'm saying? And this is not only like something you can go to YouTube and watch. This is in the store. This is on iHeartRadio. This is on iTunes and Spotify and everything else. So people can listen to this in their car while they at work. We got people driving home from work listening to this shit. Like, one of my dudes got a ticket listening to this shit coming from work. So he like,
my God.
Oh
my gosh. And, yes, I definitely want to come back. Like, once I start getting things more popping and let you guys know how things are going. And I have other things that I want to do under the same umbrella, but I'm not going to speak on them yet because I'm not ready yet. But this is going to be bigger than just my home health agency. I'm definitely going to take it to the next level with this thing. And I'm just like really appreciative for doing this. I was nervous at first, but this was like really cool.
As soon as it started, you forgot all about that shit.
Yep, I did. I had prayed before I did this.
All
like,
week,
Lord,
cause she been, y'all gonna ask me. I'm nervous. Like she was
I don't know why.
perform.
No, we're not gonna do you. We're not gonna do you bad. I promise.
Shut up, Lamar.
She was
We're
real
not gonna
nervous.
do
I'm
you
like,
bad.
man, it's easy, man. It's simple. This is this what people don't realize about stuff like this is just like sitting around being sociable with your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
but we want you to, you know, shed some light to the culture. You feel me? Everybody got a different gift that come on, you know?
Yes. And if there's ever anyone that you guys run into that are struggling with trying to figure out what they're trying to do and need some help, send them my way. I'll be more than happy to help anybody for free.
That's love.
For free. I'm not
like
gonna charge nobody.
But I also, it's like double dutch when you watch people double dutch when we was kids. You know who really ready to jump into them jump ropes and get it on, and who just sitting outside the rope doing this shit. Some people just want to do this the whole time. They don't really want to jump rope. So
that's why I said somebody who wants.
Hell yeah, because that's time consuming, and when you help people,
don't send nobody
to your
that's
time
gonna waste my time.
Not really serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, somebody who wanted.
I know I wouldn't send nobody if they wasn't 100% serious.
For sure. If they wanted, I'm here for sure. Definitely. This was awesome. I'm very humbled.
We appreciate
this was great.
You coming.
I'm
down with us.
Listen, Lamar, I'm so proud of you. This is so amazing. I've been watching from the sideline the things you've been doing, and I'm so proud of you. This is so great.
I appreciate it.
This is really amazing.
Whatever we do, we represent our city at the same time. So
all day.
It got to be done correct. If it ain't done correct, because I'm not just doing it for me, you know, we come from a place where don't nobody know. You know what I'm saying? So you speak for the people.
Put it on the map.
Yeah.
And Chris, you were amazing. Thank you so much for having me on this show. You guys just really showed me some love. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see it, play back, let my friends see what
it might look a little different when we post it on YouTube because it's gonna be edited and everything, but you still be able to go to Facebook and all that and watch the live. But it'll be out in stores and on YouTube, everybody, Monday.
Yay!
So with that being said, we're gonna go on and close it out. Carla, we're gonna bring you back, sweetheart. Thank you for everything that you blessed us with on this show. We gotta bring you back.
Thank you so much.
And progress.
Thank you. Oh, and I didn't get to put my email out there. It's my website. It's www.purpleheartshh.com. That's my website.
Tell them your Facebook and your Instagram.
Instagram
is not up yet, but my Facebook is Purple Hearts Home Health LLC.
Y'all heard
That's
it.
right.
So make sure y'all go look into her. If anybody out there inquiring, getting their family members looked over and taken care of properly, that's the person y'all want to tap in with. And we'll catch y'all next time on It's Time for That. Hosted by Mafia and Paint with special guest Cara Clark. We'll catch y'all next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, love.